Earth, the planet that we live on, home to nearly 10 billion people. But is it home to all of us? Some of us are not from here, and we know it. Maybe not consciously, but on a subconscious level, we know we don't belong here. So where did we come from? Which galaxy did we originate from? Who are our original people? We have to ask ourselves, are we from the Milky Way galaxy or from somewhere else? We are on a constant journey of searching where we belong and why we exist in the first place. But are the explanations from earthly religions going to answer these questions for us? So many people these days have questions of life and existence, but are left empty with only more questions after following some earthly belief structure for years. We also wonder, why are some people born with incredible talents and seemingly have an advantage over others intellectually, and some fall short? Do we reincarnate and learn through our existence, giving us an advantage in our next lifetimes? Or do we live only one lifetime and go to heaven like religion tells us? Some people believe we're in a simulation and our lives are being controlled by powerful beings. Some people believe that a creator deity presides over us and dictates every aspect of our lives. Or do we have control over our own lives completely, and we decide every aspect of our existence? We live on a planet that's shrouded in mystery with ancient structures that were built, but we have no definitive way of explaining how this was accomplished. Did other people from another planet come to Earth in the distant past and help our ancestors build these megalithic structures? Also, do ghosts exist, or are they figments of our wild imaginations? Have the hundreds of sightings of Bigfoot and other cryptids been fabrications of people that were seeking attention? Or have they been here with us all of this time? We also have to ask the question about our genetics and why we are so barbaric and warlike. Were we genetically manipulated by other human beings to be predisposed to barbaric tendencies? Have other humans and people from the great expanse of the cosmos been coming here for millions of years, and people are only denying this fact? I'm going to delve into these things: reincarnation, spirituality, existence, UFO encounters, the paranormal, science, genetics, and the future on livestream, and discuss with you, the listeners, and try to figure out the truth of all these mysteries. And maybe, just maybe, we'll find out together that we are all not from Earth. Facing an all-out nuclear conflagration, we are stepping into our inevitable doom for the time being. So how do we come out of this negative period? And what lies on the other side of this horrible apocalyptic future that's leering around the corner? Is there a positive future despite the unrelenting efforts by negative dictators that want to rule this world for their own negative purposes? How do we regular people survive this time? We have to ask ourselves, what lies in the future for all of us? Are we going to continue being warlike and barbaric? Are we going to continue to hate each other for our differences? Or are we going to find a way to coexist together on this planet and fight for a positive future where there is true progress? Or will this be the end of this civilization forever because of the megamaniacal individuals that just can't figure things out? Can we persevere through all of the horrible things that are going on now and will continue to happen in the near future? Can we access immeasurable creativity and design amazing architectural feats? Will we snap out of this lazy mentality and find a way to clean the planet up after the horrible price that we've paid for allowing the most unreasonable negative individuals to dictate how we should live our lives? Are the greatest accomplishments for Earth humanity in the near future? When will this positive future happen? Can we come together as a civilization and work together in a positive manner and terraform Mars, giving us another place to live until we venture out into another forever system? We are all living on a system where the sun is dying, and this system is nearly at an end. We only have a maximum of 1,200 years left before we need to all leave this system that we call home and venture out into the great expanse of the cosmos. But there is only one way to do that: together. We have to put aside any enmities and preconceived notions about each other and life itself, and look at things from a neutral scientific view to fully grasp the true meaning to life itself. And we have to put aside any submissive belief structures that have divided us for millions of years. Life is simple, and it always has been. But so many people overcomplicate it to the absolute extreme. They attach these ideologies and supernatural principles to something that is so basic and primal and beautiful, muddying up the true meaning to life and existence from pure to grotesque. We are all on a clock in this life, and so many people make the decision to waste the time they have on popular delusions, instead of being neutral and open-minded and coming to their own intelligent conclusions. We have to ask ourselves, what is going to be our legacy in this lifetime? Is it going to be something positive, or are we going to look back from our next lifetime and be ashamed of the mistakes we made? Will we come together and delve deeper and deeper into the secrets of genetics, curing all diseases, viruses, and degenerative disorders? Will we advance our physiology and extend our lives and be healthier physically, psychologically, and emotionally? Will we develop more and more advanced technology and begin to explore space further and further away from home? There is a positive future ahead, but it's going to take more and more people to see the truth of what's going on now and what's happened in the past. It's also going to take people to rise up and find a way to let go of all delusional belief structures and embrace their own might and power and finally take control of their lives fully. So, let's discuss this tonight. The future of this civilization.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me tonight. Excuse me. On this 13th episode, what is your legacy going to be when it's all said and done? Um, I re-edited that intro video. I like how it came out. It's something that I'll use whenever I talk about the future events, things like that. So hopefully everyone's doing all right tonight. There's a lot going on in the world. Um, so just quick updates on some things. Turns out Pam Bondi was fired, but it's definitely not the reason that everyone thinks that it is. The reason why she got fired, Donald Trump fired her, was because here in less than a couple weeks she was going to come out and testify about the Epstein files, and then magically there you go. She's no longer, the attorney general, and supposedly Todd Blanche is filling in for her position as of right now, and they're trying to find someone else to do the job, but that's what it's all about, guys. It's all about, you know, smoke and mirrors. And Donald Trump does not want the Epstein files to come out, nor do any of the other people that are in there, the powerful individuals that are in there, or so-called powerful individuals. I don't consider them powerful at all. They're just a bunch of losers. That's what they are. So that's what it's all about. People are going on like social media saying, insulting her. Well, saying, "Oh, look what you did. You got yourself fired and all of that." No, this was all planned. She's not upset about it. She already knew that when she was taking the job. That was like a backup plan to all this distraction that's going on with Iran and the war. They already planned for this eventuality. I'm not saying Donald Trump was like the mastermind of this. He's not a master of anything. A master of eating McDonald's. That's what, and lying, and you know coming up with just some nonsense things to say. My goodness, that man has zero control over his mental faculties. Um, he is one of the most bizarre and unintelligent human beings to ever exist. Well, he's spiritually young. You got to give that to him. So he's only a few hundred years old spiritually. So, and he goes off like saying that he's so intelligent. Like he just posted something saying that he has a 250 IQ. Get the heck out of here. Oh my goodness. There's no, if you cut that in half, if you cut it in half to 125, that's still not his IQ. His IQ is more like around 109, and that's like on the considerate side. People are saying he has like a 70 IQ. It's not really possible being a couple hundred years old, but he definitely doesn't have control over his intellect or mental faculties. And making a statement like that, saying you have a 250 IQ, no, no, because the last time I took an IQ test, it was like 196. So that was years ago. But um, yeah, he's not even close to that. But whatever. Anyway, so yeah, all that Pam Bondi stuff, guys. That was pre-planned, so they don't have to release the Epstein files, um, which eventually is going to get released anyway. Um, and there are rumors that he's on his way out. He's in the hospital right now. Um, I've come to the conclusion that he has a body double. Saddam Hussein had a body double. Elvis Presley had a body double. There's a lot of people that have body doubles. Kim Jong Un has a body double. Vladimir Putin most definitely has a like two or three body doubles. I can tell you that much because I've seen. He kind of messed up at the beginning years ago. He was having a speech in St. Petersburg, and his body double was having a speech at the same time in Moscow. So he kind of like threw himself under the bus with that. Now everybody knows that Vladimir Putin has at least two or three doubles, people that look like him, same height, same build, same look, all of it. The actual body double that was caught, it appears they had like plastic surgery to look exactly like him, which Vladimir Putin has kind of like a regular, look about him. There's nothing like no features are like significantly different or anything like that. Just like a regular looking guy, but but yeah, I'm pretty convinced that Donald Trump does have a body double. So it's all about him, making public appearances. His body double is like at least 20 or 30 pounds lighter and a little bit more agile than he is. Well, anyone is more agile than he is. Um, but yeah, that's what it is. He's undergoing treatment right now. He has been undergoing treatment for a long time. Um, he's got a whole bunch of heart issues, circulatory issues, cardiovascular issues. He can't even walk up flights of stairs. He has to sit down all the time because he's morbidly obese. Also, his bone density, all of it. Guys, this comes with doing all the disgusting, depraved things that man has done for decades. And not exercising. I don't think that he's ever exercised probably a day in his life. Um, you have to keep up with your, diet and nutrition. And you have to keep moving at the very least. If you're not going to exercise, you have to, walk around a lot. You have to, like not eat 3 meals a day or however many meals a day. Like, as human beings, our physiology, we're not meant to eat 3 meals a day. We're meant to eat like one meal per day or one meal every other day. That sounds kind of crazy to some people, but that's how we are physiologically built. That's the way that we are. Um, and other human beings out there, they don't eat every day. They eat like once every 2 or 3 days, sometimes even 4 days. I've been practicing fasting for years now, for like a better part of 10 years. I can go like the most that I've ever gone was 5 days fasting, and I could tell you after the second day, I feel amazing. Um, you have like an uptick of cognitive function, brain fog goes away, you're thinking clearly, have like unlimited energy. So I'm a real proponent for fasting, intermittent fasting, ketogenic diet. I suppose I'll do an episode on ketogenic diet. I think it is the best. diet that is out there. It's not really a diet; it's like a lifestyle. So, but like our physiology, we're not meant to eat 3 or 4 times a day. That's a misconception that was started by the Rockefellers, um, at the early 20th century. And the Rockefellers have stake in grocery stores and, like farmland, all of it or whatever. And they came up with this ridiculous food pyramid. Guys, don't go by that ridiculous food pyramid that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is pushing out there. It's just a bunch of nonsense. You're not supposed to eat massive amounts of grains and flour and wheat and all that. You're not supposed to eat all that stuff. We've eaten so much, grains and wheat and flour that people have developed, celiac disease, gluten intolerant, and all that. You're supposed to have like a balanced diet. You're not supposed to eat a whole lot of fruits either. That's another misconception. Like like bananas, and bananas don't have that much potassium in it. Like you can take a dozen bananas, and one avocado has as much potassium as a dozen bananas. Avocados are good for you, healthy fats, amino acids, all of it. So yeah, I'll do a whole episode on diet and nutrition. I've learned quite a bit about biochemistry over the years. I've learned from other people like Thomas DeLauer and Dr. Eric Berg. That's when I first got into the ketogenic diet. But I kind of like always, I did like Atkins diet, which is not really the most efficient diet because it doesn't account for vegetables and like macro micronutrients. So, but yeah, guys, we have to take care of ourselves. We have to, this is part of the creational laws. You have to take care of yourself physiologically. You have to, you know, do things that are healthy for you to sustain your life, to prolong your life as long as possible. That's common sense, but common sense ain't too common, and I can guarantee you that Donald Trump has not adhered to that. He probably eats like 5 times a day, sleeps 12 hours per day, and he has his body double going out there doing speeches sometimes. Um, and he literally, contradicts himself in one media session and to the next. So it's very very possible. I'm leaning on that theory because his health is so absolutely horrible. I don't think that it's one person doing these public appearances and things like walking to the Air Force One and all that kind of nonsense. Nah, he can't walk on his own. He really can't. He has to have the Secret Service like hold his arms up so he doesn't fall over. As a man is just a disgusting, decrepit pile of rape and murder and unintelligence, and he is leading this entire country and this entire world into all out oblivion. So I was doing a little bit of looking through social media. Apparently, a lot of people have this theory that this weekend, um, tomorrow, Easter Sunday, that he is going to fire a nuclear missile on Iran. He's giving them that like 48-hour window of time. And if you look back in the past, he always does things before the deadline's up, or what he'll do is he will extend it out even further. He's already extended out the deadline like 4 times for them since the beginning of this, or more than 4 times. I haven't really kept up with how many times he's extended it out, but he always does things like before the deadline's up. So it's quite possible. I'm not. I don't want to. I don't want to think of the damage that'll cost. The that's most definitely going to trigger World War III officially, and people will start to go in. So I think it's very, very possible, very probable that that will happen. They will fire some sort of highly advanced missile, whether it's nuclear or whatever. If America doesn't do it, I can guarantee that Israel will do it. They are getting bombarded in Tel Aviv right now. I think that that creepy, negative, sick individual Benjamin Netanyahu is going to end up firing a nuclear missile at Iran, which is definitely going to trigger World War III. So if Trump doesn't do it, Israel will do it, and there you go. We are set on a negative course of eventuality that we can't escape. Guys, people keep on believing this nonsense that, oh, it's going to end very soon. We're gonna leave. I'm trying to look for a way out. And he goes on saying, Trump goes on saying that, we're winning, we're beating the heck out of them, we're victorious, we're bombing them. No, it's not. Another aircraft just went down. It seems like to me that the Iranians are winning this one, and plus they're getting what they want. They're blasting him on social media with those AI Lego videos. Have you guys seen those? Man, those things are funny. Uh, they are pretty funny, but the whole situation isn't funny at all. But yeah, they're making these Lego videos. For those you don't know, look on Reddit. AI Lego videos from Iran. There's a new one. It's like a rap Lego video about Pete Hegseth, or however you pronounce his name, the drunk, cocaine addicted moron. And to mention him, I tried to make a post on a thread. I don't even remember the name of the Reddit thread that I was trying to make a post about him. I was trying to like quote him, and Reddit like deleted my post. Um, so what this means is that the freedom of speech is pretty much over with. Also, another thing happened too on Envato, which I use for making the intro videos and all that, and the music and the voiceover. I tried to put in something about creation itself, and it said it wasn't going to generate the voice because it promotes hate speech. I'm not a promoter of any sort of hate speech. And funny enough, when I changed two words and I took out creation, funny enough, it generated it. That is so bizarre. That just tells you that um, they are going against anything that talks about reincarnation, creation, anything of a positive nature. Nothing that I typed in there for the voice generator had anything to do with hate speech. It was these are like key words that they look for, that the AI looks for: creation, reincarnation, stuff like that. So they are really pushing this out there. They're like redesigning AI to look for any words like this. And guys, it's so dangerous. This is just like this is you can't come back from this. Like if we can't, those of us that want to speak about reincarnation and creation, anything of a positive nature, if we can't do that, if we don't have a forum to do it, then what do we do? We can't really do anything. Go and make like public lectures. I could tell you right now, if I went to the convention center and told people that I was gonna talk about reincarnation, there wouldn't be that many people that would show up. Honestly, I'd still do it though. There needs to be someone out there that's doing that. That's making like large public lectures, but yeah, they're starting to tear down free speech on every facet. TikTok is a tool for propaganda. Instagram is just a hot mess and a tool for propaganda. You can't speak your mind on there either. X, forget about it. X is just a disgusting platform for hateful people and bots that are promoting hate and all that. That's actually promoting hate speech because they are. There are so many negative people on X. It's unbelievable, and they have like these you know over opinionated sayings about like politics and what's going around the world, and they're talking about different countries like they're the enemy and all that. Guys, nobody is an enemy unless you make them out to be an enemy. um I would rather have friends than enemies. So if you go around saying that the entire like country, entire peoples are horrible and they're bad and they're all terrorists and enemies, then that's what they're going to become in your mind, in your deluded mind. But they're not. Not every country contains all negative people. Not every country contains all positive people, unfortunately. But it will be like that in the future, though. So you have to like be neutral about things. You can't go around saying hateful things about anybody's culture, about anybody's skin tone, race. Honestly, we're all the same race. We're the human race. We just have different skin colors. That's all it is. We're the same peoples. I don't see anybody as different. You see, this is the problem in the world. Everyone, you take a look at somebody and you automatically have like preconceived notions about that person. You don't know anything about them. You don't. Even if you work with them, you really don't know much about them unless you're with them 24 hours a day, and you still don't know what's going on in people's minds. You have no clue about that. So people need to stop doing that. We need to just take a step back and observe and find out the facts and look at things from a very neutral perspective. Don't automatically have biases and preconceived notions. That's complete nonsense. That's negativity, and that's very, very unevolved. I have no idea when this civilization is going to move past all that nonsense. Can you imagine if we're all considerate of each other? If we all just like looked at each other for being people, and we respected each other, we respected each other's ideas and opinions and level of intellect, level of knowledge, and we just saw each other as complete equals. No matter the age, no matter your skin color, no matter what country you come from. It would be a completely different world. I could tell you that right now. And also, if you know people would let go of this religious delusional way of thinking, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen for a few more decades. But one can only wish, though, right? That's what's been dividing this country for a long time. That's going to be the sort of topic I'm going to talk about tomorrow. Uh, I posted that on Reddit. I'm going to talk about the true history of Jesus Christ. So I can promise you, it's definitely not what you think it is. So I can tell you right now, I'm going to rattle a lot of cages with that. All the stuff that I talk about rattles people's cages, but I do it. So what? Get offended if you want to get offended. Be sensitive if you want to be sensitive. I'm not sensitive. You can say anything you want to me, and it's not going to bother me. Um, so act like little children, whatever. But I promoted it on there, and if anybody wants to watch that episode, it's going to be very, very educational. It's the actual truth of who he was. But I'm not going to talk about that tonight, though. I wanted to make a couple corrections. There was one episode, I forgot what it was, but I was going back and I was listening to it. Made a couple mistakes on the price of oil. Um, so I said it was like $700. That's ridiculous. The thing is, I was reading an article about that, and I just blurted that out. So I was wrong with that. It's not $700 per barrel right now. It is at $111 dollars and 54 cents for crude oil, and then Brent oil is $109 and 24 cents right now. So yeah, that was like astronomical. I said 700 and 500 and 200. That was all in that article I was reading. Honestly, and I forget the guy that was talking about that. I think he was talking about it could potentially get to that point, but it's not now. So I wanted to correct that. That's kind of ridiculous. If anybody goes back and listens to that, no. So I'll explain a little bit about it. So there are like three types of oil that come out the Middle East, and it's high sulfur crude. There's Arab light, medium, and heavy. and it's found in carbonate reservoirs. So what that means is that like the dinosaurs and life, trees and plants and all that, it takes millions of years for that to go through its natural biological processes, guys. Millions of years, not a couple decades. I can't tell you how many times that um, I've like heard people say that, oh, you can the planet reproduces oils in just a few years, in a couple decades, and it's an unlimited source. No, no, it isn't. It takes millions upon millions of years to produce oil. So what does that tell you? Um, in the last 200 years, it robbed like 93% from the estimation that I came up with, around the world. It could be a little bit less, but let's just I'm going to stick to that 93%. So that's been robbed from the planet. There's only about 7% left. Um, so what does that tell you? When that last 7% is gone, that's it. The whole purpose for oil in a planet is just like it is in a car, in a vehicle. It's to lubricate the gears from and prevent friction and like overheating. That's what it's used for, and it's also turned into gasoline and diesel and jet fuel, and heating oil and stuff like that. But that's the purpose of it. So if you look for this example, like if you do not have any oil lubricating the gears in your car, you get wear and tear on the metal, and it creates heat and friction, and your car will break down. It will seize up. It will eventually seize up. I did that to one of my first cars actually, but it had an oil leak though. It was my fault. So what I did was just like parked it on the side of the road and let somebody tow it. It was a piece of crap anyway. I only paid like $500 for it, but it was cheaper just to leave it there than to tow it and try to fix it, even though it was mechanically inclined. Because that was my job in the army. I was a helicopter mechanic, but at that time I didn't have too much money to mess with it, so I just left it on the side of the road. Somebody eventually picked it up, but um, yeah, that's what happens when you don't have oil lubricating the gear. So what happens with the tectonic plates? Pretty much the same thing. When you don't have oil lubricating tectonic plates, um, you get earthquakes, and you get underwater earthquakes, seaquakes, tsunamis. You get volcanic activity because the magma flows through the tectonic plates also. So I mean, this is common sense. This is basic geology, and you cannot take every last drop of oil that the planet has and expect not there to be like electromagnetic activity, hurricanes, typhoons, earthquakes on a massive level, volcanic eruptions. Guys, this is every other like human being out there and other planets. They know this. They don't do that. They don't rob every single drop of oil like oil vampires. It's just so bizarre, and it's almost over with. And these people are like fighting over every last little minuscule drop. It's never going to end well. So, also another fact is America gets like 646,000 barrels per day from the Middle East. Some of it has to, go through the Strait of Hormuz also. Um, that's only 10% of the imported oil. Canada accounts for 60% of U.S. oil. And 42 gallons of oil are in one barrel, and that makes about 20 gallons of gas, and it makes distillate fuel like diesel heating fuel, oil, heating oil. It makes about 11 to 13 gallons, and jet fuel 3 to 4 gallons off of one barrel. So those are some facts for you. Yeah, I actually didn't make the mistake of saying the wrong facts at that time. But so what does that tell you? If it's only 10% of imported oil that comes out of the Middle East, why the heck are the gas prices rising up like this? You have to do more research into it, or they're taking advantage of the situation. The BP and Shell and all that, and Chevron, they're all taking advantage of that situation, making it out for idiots, morons to think that we are completely reliant on the oil that comes out of the Middle East. We're not. These are the facts. 10% of it, and another 60% from Canada. So if you're getting 60% from Canada, 10 and only 10% from the Middle East, and that leaves you with 30% that's created in America itself, like in the Gulf of Mexico and all that, out there in Texas and Oklahoma. Then why are the gas prices rising? Guys, it's all a money laundering scheme. These rich billionaires or whatever, they're just like milking every last drop. The gas prices don't have to go up. Now it does around some parts of the world. It does, like the Philippines and India and stuff like that. India, they produce like their own oil. Also, they a little bit, but not much. They get a large portion of their oil from the Middle East too. But we have to wonder, why is everything going up? And then like when gas prices, diesel prices go up, um, it costs more for truck drivers to deliver goods to the grocery stores. So then the groceries go up, and clothes, shoes, all commodities, they all go up. So these people are making trillions upon trillions of dollars. They are using this war as a pretense to gouge every single American, and all around the world. It's working all around the world too. So this is not just as simple as the way that Israel's making it out to be. Like Iran or the whole country is a bunch of terrorists. This has to do with making money, and also, like I said in the previous episode, it has to do with the buried UFO technology. So they have discovered, Iran has discovered some UFOs that are buried out there. Um, Iran itself is very, very old, and there's been people coming here for millions of years. And like I said, they leave their ships out there, and they never come back for them. Some people may abandon their ships too, but that's what it's all about. It's all about a plot and plan, and you guys have to see that this happens in cycles. So it's happened for the whole modern age, and cycles over and over and over again. But yep. So that whole thing with Pam Bondi, don't believe the news. That was all planned. That was all staged. She is not upset at all about this. She's happy because she gets free and clear. She does not have to testify, even though they could call her back. Guess what she'll do? Plead the fifth, and she'll say, "I'm no longer acting attorney general, so I'm not in charge of anything anymore." That's exactly what she's going to say. I can guarantee you. Watch. She's going to plead the fifth, and she's going to make the excuse. It's not my job anymore. Some people were saying that she's going to come out with all this evidence, everything she's seen. No, she's not, because she's a coward, and she's afraid that they're going to, assassinate her, which they will. If she does come out with this, I can guarantee you, Trump or whoever else that she mentions in the Epstein files, they will assassinate her. They will make it look like, some sort of accident, car accident, heart attack, falling out of a window of a hotel room, which the windows don't open. So, or falling off the roof of a skyscraper, getting hit by a bus, whatever it is, that they'll make it up, and people will believe it. So there's always morons out there that believe that kind of stuff. It's just like Admiral Byrd when he an Operation High Jump. Whenever he went down there and he spoke with those human beings that live down there in Antarctica, um, he was going around telling people about that, and they didn't want him talking about it. He wrote stuff in his diary. So what they did is they ended up, committing him to the Bethesda, Maryland psychiatric hospital. And then all of a sudden, he just like, flew out of a window that can't open one of the top floors. How convenient, huh? A man that's talking about other human beings and UFOs and all sorts of other things. He ends up, killing himself, going crazy. The man had no history of psychological disorders. He was very sound mentally and physically fit, didn't have any health problems whatsoever. And then, all of a sudden, he just falls out the window and they call it a suicide. So, yeah, that's the way that they cover stuff up. But all that's coming to an end. I don't know about this theory that people have on. So far, I've just seen it on Reddit about nuclear bomb striking Iran. I don't know. I really, really don't. I hope that that's not the case because guys, that's just going to, trigger everything and everyone. Um, the thing is, there's a nuclear proliferate treatment around the world. You're not even supposed to use nuclear bombs for anything. You're supposed to do tests, nuclear bomb tests. Putin was in trouble for that. He was doing tests underneath the ground in like underground caverns. He was trying to keep it a secret. China does the same thing too out in the forbidden zone. Um, you're not even supposed to do that. Uh, Nobody's used nuclear weapons since World War II. You have to realize that that's how destructive they are. So imagine America does that. That moron that's sitting in the commander in chief's chair. He throws a nuclear bomb out at Iran, trying to solve the issue, trying to get himself out of it, or Israel does it. Guys, this is gonna knock the dominoes down. It's gonna be a domino effect. Other people are gonna say they did it. We're gonna do it. And you know what? All this hatred that's going around the world, it's not gonna end in a positive way. It's gonna end with 3/4 of the planet being destroyed, and those people will survive underneath their bunkers for a little bit, for a few months, maybe a year, but they're not going to make it out. Um, and they will have triggered this. But like I've said before, I don't think that the Federation of Light is going to let it get to, too bad of a point. They have to step in as they've been working on this mission for like decades and decades. And they're definitely not the type of people that like to fail a mission. So, this situation is so far out of control. We're way past the point of no return. I honestly I don't see how anything is going to get resolved unless some miracle of creation happens. But I suppose we'll see. But I think it's very likely. I tend to agree for some part with that theory, but I really don't want it to be like that. I wish there was some other way out. But these people are still in their positions of power, unless Trump doesn't make it. So whatever he is suffering for, some sort of sexually transmitted diseases, cardiovascular disease, all of that. If he doesn't make it, then that moron JD Vance is going to take his place, and he is so malleable. Oh my goodness. And he's even going on. All right, this is another thing that I want to talk about. JD Vance was going on some podcast. I forget what it was, telling people that he's very interested in UFOs, but he thinks that they're demons. Guys, that is not the truth. Oh my goodness, he's trying to paint UFOs and other human beings as being demonic. Of course, he's going to try to put the religious aspect in it. He is a religious zealot. He's an absolute moronic idiot. And people were buying this. They're like, oh, maybe UFOs are demons. I even heard somebody last night say that. And I was like, no, they're not. They're not demons. They're just people from other planets. You're trying to rile people up with this religious delusional nonsense. Guys, you have to see it. Religion has like no place in a civilization. All it does is divide, and people make up some nonsensical garbage or whatever to make excuses for something that's very logical and very reasonable and very easily explained. So he is doing more damage than good. And there's so many idiotic people out there that believe that nonsense. My goodness. Guys, UFOs, other human beings, they are not demonic. There's no such thing as demons. There's no such thing as Satan. There's no such thing as God or heaven or any of that. Maybe you disagree, but that's fine. But I know this for a fact. I've experienced my own experiences. There isn't. It's just it was all made up, to control this civilization. And honestly, this civilization should have been snapped out of that way of thinking a long time ago. It keeps on being perpetuated in endless cycles over and over and over and over again. And then you got morons like JD Vance going around exciting people who are already, easily manipulated in an intellectual level and they believe that nonsense. And then you got like this Chris Bledsoe guy telling people that, this lady told him about Star of Regulus. Well, guess what? It's here right now. What's supposed to happen? I don't see anything happening. Some people have a theory that it's like a nuclear bomb going off in Iran, and you can see it from the Sphinx. I don't know. So many wild theories out there, guys. I don't really want to buy into any of that nonsense, but I can promise you that the whole demon aspect of UFOs, that is a bunch of garbage. And JD Vance is going to regret that. He's going to regret saying that. And watch, he's gonna do an about face. He's going to do a 180-degree turnaround one day. Watch, and he's going to like forget the fact that he was telling people that UFOs are demons. Watch, mark my words. He's gonna change his mind about that. Unbelievable. What an absolute complete idiot. Wow. America is being led by a bunch of religious, delusional, hateful, cannibalistic, rapist, child molesting morons, guys, and they are going to hate every single thing that they've done. So tonight I wanted to talk about legacy. Their legacy: J.D. Vance, Pete Hegseth, Donald Trump, Pam Bondi's, Christy Gnomes, Caroline Levitz, Mike Johnson, that Nazi Miller, every single one of these people. Their legacy has already been forged, written in stone. That's the way that it works. So in their next lifetimes, my goodness, I don't even like want to know what's going on in their heads when they recall these past lifetimes and they go back into the past and they see themselves making these mistakes because they are going to suffer from like extreme anxiety and guilt. I'm not. I made a couple mistakes in my life, but I have never even come close to anything these disgusting people have done. Guys, that's the way that it works. We do not live one lifetime, and we do not go to heaven if we obey the Ten Commandments, and we do not go to this fiery inferno if we sin. So that you just live other lifetimes, but you are held accountable for the mistakes that you've made, and we do write our own legacies. So I'm going to kind of explain the way that it works, and it's not exactly what people think it is, but so all right. So the moment that your spirit form is created, that's the beginning of your existence. Our spirit forms reside right here, um, right like above our forehead and above the pineal gland, not at the top of your head, but that's where it resides. It's like the size of a needle point, and what it is a part piece of creation. It is constructed, and it has the creational laws, creational recommendations innate. And we are beings. We are spiritual beings. We are powerful, empathetic spiritual beings, and we come into existence. All the creational energies form, and we are a new being. But we don't. We have all that. The essence of whatever creation we're from. I have a theory that I'm not even from this creation, but I can't prove that right now. but it's possible I may be from another creation, and I made my way over here. 'Cause some of the dreams that I had last night, and the night before, it was just bizarre, bizarre. A lot of lifetimes in there, and I'm not really sure what to think about it, but that's kind of the conclusion that I've come to. I could be wrong, but these were definitely past life dreams, and there were like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. But one day I'll figure it out if I have enough time. If World War III doesn't kick off right now, or this summer, or November, if that doesn't happen, then I may have some more time to try to figure out my past life lineages and kind of prove that for myself, just for myself, not for anybody else. But um, all right, so the moment that we're created, we're very, very powerful, empathetic beings. We're part pieces of this creation, and positive, neutral. We're positive, neutral. We're not negative. Our spirit forms are not negative. It's the material consciousness that can potentially be negative and make mistakes. So our spirit form attaches ourselves to a body. Let's say on Earth, the way that it's been happening for the last 125 years, um, we're not crawling out the primordial pools anymore, and spirit forms aren't attaching ourselves to the sort of like gobbledygook, misshapen human form. And honestly, like the original human forms on Earth, very small. I think they were like 40 centimeters high, and they're tall and very odd. So when we go back into the past, it's going to be very kind of like bracing for people to see themselves like this. The first Earth-made spirit forms. It's not what you expect though. It's not the way that we look like right now. It's kind of look like creatures almost, but they're human physically. And in order for Amadan spirit form to attach itself to that human physiology, it has to be human. It can't be an animal. We cannot. Our spirit forms cannot attach ourselves to animals, like to a bear or to a lion or a tiger or a cat or a dog or anything like that. It has to be human physiology. This has to do with the link through genetics. It's a genetic link plus the seven fine matter sublevels of the genetics that is determined what spirit form it is. So if we had, like all animal genetics, then we could not have Amadan spirit form attach ourselves to it. We'd have to have an animal consciousness, but that's not the case though. So on Earth for the last 125 years, new spirit forms were being created. They were pulled in from creation from the fine matter realm, and they attach themselves to fetuses at the 21st day because of overpopulation. So then they're born with some sort of intellectual deficiency, like Down syndrome. That's the explanation why certain people are born that way. They have intellectual deficiencies because they are new spirit forms. They do not have any accumulated knowledge, even though they have the essence of creation. Um, you need to learn things by living lifetimes. You live thousands and thousands and thousands of lifetimes throughout 96 million year period to 116 million year period. And you learn and you become spiritually more powerful. Accumulated knowledge is actual spiritual power. That's what it is. And so you develop your first lifetime, you learn things. You're like a sponge. You literally take in all your surroundings on a conscious level and like a subconscious level and a spiritual subconscious level. And the information that you process, you process it through your material consciousness, and then it gets transferred, and you sort of go through that information in your material subconscious, and then you come to conclusions, and then that knowledge gets transferred into your spiritual subconscious, which it becomes part of your accumulated knowledge. Now these are life lessons. Now you've learned these life lessons, and you become more spiritually powerful that way. So that's the whole process of what happens during life. You reflect, you come to realizations and cognitions, you make mistakes, ridiculous mistakes, sometimes major mistakes, and you contemplate on this. You contemplate on a material level, subconscious level, and spiritual subconscious level, guys. There are multiple levels to us. We are not just straight and narrow. We have different levels of intellect. We have different levels of intellectual processing speed. Um, some people can process things a whole lot faster than others. Um, that has to do with your neuroconnectivity. People that are spiritually older have more neuroconnectivity and they process things a whole lot quicker. That's the only explanation for it. So if you really can't do like, long mathematics in your head, don't worry about it. One day you will be able to do it. Just practice. So, all right. So, um, you live your life, you learn, and this begins your story. This is the beginning of the story of your existence. So, uh, you started your book. That's what life is. From the point that your spirit form is created, uh, up to the 116 million year period where you go through the physical lifetimes and half physical, half spiritual lifetimes, you are writing your book, and each lifetime is a different chapter. It's a completely different chapter, a completely different like material personality. Your personality doesn't stay the same. I have mentioned that um, my personality is going to be the same in the next lifetime. I don't necessarily mean it that way. I'm not misguided. I understand that it's going to be a new physical body, and I'm going to have a new, more evolved personality. But I was just mentioning that if I'm stubborn in this lifetime, I'm probably going to be stubborn in my next lifetime. That's the only, that's what I didn't mean that, everything that is me right now in this material sense is going to be the same in the next lifetime. You don't repeat personalities, you have different personalities, but, as you evolve, you can only like develop a certain number of different, personalities. Eventually, you add diversity to it, and you have like a core personality. That's what I believe. I believe that there's a spiritual personality, which Billy says that there's not, but I think I'm going to prove him wrong. I don't think that he realizes that there's much more to the spiritual subconscious that there is. But I do, take his advice and go off the information that he's provided, plus my own accumulated knowledge. So maybe one day I'll prove that there is deeper depths to the spiritual subconscious, but that's just like up in the air for now. One day. So yeah, you add different traits, sense of humor, the type of music you like. That evolves as you live, and as you're living life from the moment that you're born to the last day, whatever it is, by accident or old age, degenerative disorder, some kind of sickness or whatever, it doesn't matter. You are literally writing your book like a chapter. You are working on your book until the end, until the 116 million year period. And then that's where your book is done. You've written all your chapters. You lived in the physical existence, and half physical, half spiritual. And then now your book is done. Now you're ascend to the purely spiritual, and then you continue to exist. It doesn't end there, but um, we have a very very short window of time, guys. 96 million years to 116 million years is not long at all when you're looking at it like a cosmic scale. It really isn't. But the reason why I think that creation created it that way is because any longer and you just be like lingering around, it's a good amount of time that you can accomplish things that you want to accomplish. But imagine that you waste 20 million years being negative, which the Lyran lineage wasted a whole lot of time being negative. They wasted much more than that. Time after time after time again, they kept on delving into the negative. They just can't figure things out. They're not having any problems right now necessarily, but um, they are faced, the ones that are spiritually older, the original Lyran spiritual beings. Now they're faced with looking back millions of years. How many mistakes that they've made? They've literally wasted the larger chunk of their existence. Their physical existence, half physical, half spiritual existence, making disgusting, tremendous mistakes. Guys, that's not how it's supposed to be. That's We're not supposed to do that. We have such a short amount of time as it is. We have to take advantage, full of positive advantage, not negative advantage, full positive advantage over the time that we have. Because when it's time to ascend, it's time to ascend. You can stay a little bit longer if you want, but um, people usually don't want to. Usually, you're ready for the purely spiritual existence. That's the destiny. Um, Human beings, no matter what classification that they are. So you have this amount of time to write your, autobiography, your spiritual autobiography. That's essentially what it is, and it may not be like a physical book, even though you can do that. That would be a long, long book, wouldn't it? I could 116 million year period. If you put every little detail in there, that would be the longest book ever written. 116 million year book. It would take people their entire existence to read every little detail of your book. But you can do this on a spiritual level. We're able to process a whole lot of information on a spiritual level. That's part of what we're capable of, which is great. We're able to process, creational information because that flows around everywhere. That flows around the planet, that flows around the universe, galaxies, all of it. And those of us that are, practice, we can pick up on that information. And also thoughts too. You pick up on other people's thoughts without realizing it on the conscious level and on a subconscious level. But so each lifetime is a chapter in this book. Um, and you have to think about it. What do you? How do you want your book to end? Do you want it to, have half the chapters be with you making mistakes that you can't come back with? Because this book is going to get read by everyone. That's the thing, guys. Our lives, they're not secret. People think that they hold all these secrets, and it's not. Everything gets recorded into planetary records. Everything gets recorded into the galactic records. Everything gets recorded into the universal creational records. And all that information is there for anybody that wants to look at it. So our personalities in each lifetime, they get it gets transferred into the overall consciousness block, into fine matter impulses, and into the akashic records, as some people call it. I like calling it the planetary records, but it's there. All our thoughts, our sense of humor, the music that we listen to, everything, every little dirty secret that you ever had, guys, it's recorded in there, and other peoples can go back there and look at it. We can look at it. I'm in the process of trying to develop myself to get to the planetary records. I haven't done that on a conscious level. I do it on a subconscious level while I sleep, actually a lot, but I'm trying to get to that meditative state where I get down there. I'm not gonna lie and say that I've been there on a conscious level. On a subconscious level, yes, but um, but it's all there. So each personality, each lifetime, that's just one chapter, and you gotta think the mistakes that you make in this lifetime, guys. That's get recorded down permanently. You cannot change that. There's nothing you could do to change that. You can go back in time all you want, but you can't change it. So all of these negative people out there that are doing these disgusting things, compromising themselves sexually, being submissive, murdering, assassinating, spewing hate and nonsense and religious delusional BS. Um, Guys, you're wasting this lifetime. It's literally a waste. From the moment you decided to step over that line and do those things, um, you set yourself on a course of eventuality to failure. It's a failed lifetime. I mean, you can recover before the end of this lifetime, but how many people do you know that actually like were disgusting and hateful, and then they develop themselves in a positive way and end their lifetimes in a positive way. Not many people will end up dying for what they believe in, like this Jesuit oath. People make this Jesuit, Society of Jesus oath, and they're willing to give their lives for the cause. Unbelievable. I cannot, I can't fathom intellectually. I can't fathom that psychologically. What would motivate a person just to like throw your life away for what? For a brotherhood? For religion? For negative intrigues? Guys, we don't have that much time as it is. Why do you want to waste uh, a golden opportunity to be a decent person, just to be a regular person, and to um, you know do things that you want to do? Don't do things that people want you to do. That's why we're alive in the first place. We're alive, uh, to follow our dreams, to follow our hearts, to follow logic and reason, to do things that are considerate of other people, to put other people first, not just our selfish selves. We can't do that. But it's just like it's so difficult for me to fathom that. I honestly I can't really like put myself into their shoes. People that are willing to sacrifice their life for the cause, and for what? You're gonna live another lifetime, but they don't really know that. So they've taken the one opportunity that they think that they have, and they've wasted it for someone else's cause, and they've adopted that cause to their own, and they split their psyche up and all sorts of other psychological damage. For what? For money, for fame, for to perpetuate the agenda. Come on, guys, we're not supposed to do things like this. We're individuals. We're individual spiritual beings. We're not like uh, conglomerate or attached to any other spiritual being. Now you can be linked on a romantic level to someone else on a spiritual level, soulmates, spiritual soulmates. Which maybe one day I'll find my spiritual soulmate, or soulmates plural. Couple of women, or I'm okay with just one incredible woman, but um kind of saving that for the future. Um, who knows? Maybe I'll find her or them. So, but we can't be linked on that, spiritual level like that. But we're still individual spiritual beings. We have our own minds. We have our own consciousness. We have our own material consciousness and subconsciousness. We can come to our own conclusions. Um, so, like attaching yourself to some sort of ridiculous cause that you're going to end up regretting, your last moments of that life, is just absolutely ridiculous, guys. You're not supposed to do that. So you have to be an individual. You have to think for yourself, and you have to decide what do you want this lifetime to be worth, because it's going to be remembered when the life, when all the moments flash before your eyes. I can tell you that I've seen stuff like this before, near death experiences where my life flashed before my eyes. Um, had a couple of experiences like that, so I can, each time I came back different. I can promise you. But so when that happens, when that does happen, and what that is, just like the process of your material thoughts transforming into fine matter impulses. That's what it is. That's all it is. So it's like flashing before your eyes, and it's getting downloaded into your spiritual subconscious, in the fine matter impulses, into your comprehensive consciousness block. That's what's going on. That's that whole process of images flashing before your eyes and all that, and also your spirit form leaving your body, detaching the silver cord. So, but you got to think. So now that you know that everything's getting recorded in the planetary records and the galactic records and the creation records, and anybody can go back and see it. Um, what do you want them to see? How do you want them to view you, as a good person or a compromised person? And so you add up all these chapters, all these lifetimes throughout your existence, and you get to this 116 million year period, and your book is complete. You're getting ready to ascend to the purely spiritual. Um, when you go through your book, you reflect on everything. What are going to be your last thoughts about your existence? How many regrets are you going to have? Because you will have regrets. We all have regrets, but those are the people that have spent millions and millions of years, wasting lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. They're going to have the most regrets, and you're going to have to process this at the end. That's what that ascension process is essentially. It is us, you know, becoming lighter on the spiritual level and transcending the physical existence completely and ascending into the purely spiritual and beginning, the Arahat Athersata level, which is a contemplator of the time. So, and also I believe that the Arahat Athersata level controls time space, but that's not what they're called. But I think I've got my own theories about that, but that's what you ascend to. You ascend to that level first. You work your way up to the Patali level. There's 7 levels and 7 sub levels, but you have to go through this process where you going through chapter after chapter of your lifetimes, your existence, and what are you gonna, how are you gonna feel about the mistakes that you made? So think about that, put that into perspective. Also, think about the fact that anyone can read any of your chapters at any time, and also the creational level spiritual beings and all the spiritual beings that are in the purely spiritual guys. They're listening to everything, they're contemplating on every thought that we have, they're listening to this right now. And we have to show for something. We have to leave behind something positive. We have to go with the flow of evolution. We have to think that being extremely creative, extremely unique, is an essential part of evolution. We're all individuals, um, and we all are part pieces of creation, and we have that capability of doing things differently than the people that came previously before us, and that's how things have to happen. We have to continue to move forward. Creation itself has to move forward, and also things change. It changes on a massive level. So the time that we're in now is different from 100 million years ago or 9 billion years ago. I think what's going on with Nocadamian is that he just didn't take that into account. He doesn't realize that we're in a new time, and he's kind of like doing things the same way that he would have billions of years ago. That's just my opinion. It is working, but so Billy, if you ever come across this podcast, try to change things. Like be think more progressively. Think more future. Also, Patal. Also, if he listens to this, you can't do things like the old fashioned way. We're literally in like a new time period within this creation. We have to go with the flow of evolution. We can't do things in an old antiquated way. We have to always think forward thinking and progressive. We have to have new ideas. So um, and the thing is, nobody really knows that. Like, what was the previous creation like that created this creation? Interesting thought, huh? Like, I would assume that we're more evolved than the previous creation, the creation, is it called? Because I don't think like on a massive level, but the next creation that we're going to create will be a little bit more evolved, and things will be different there, even though the creational laws and the creational recommendations are going to stay the same. It could be like new laws of physics too. Could be. You never know. I think there's like different types of laws of physics out there in other creations as possible. Who really knows all this stuff? But it's pretty cool to think about. But we have to go with the flow of evolution itself, and we have to be on the cutting edge of everything. We have to always be neutral, positive in our thinking. We can't have preconceived notions. We can't have any biases. We have to be free free to let our creativity flow, because that's what we are. We are creative beings. Creation is creativity itself. So we have to let that creativity flow, and we have to think in that manner. We can't be closed minded to anything. So yeah, just decide what you want your life to mean, because when it's all said and done, um, there's no changing it, guys. You can't go back, and you can't fix your mistakes. We're supposed to make mistakes. We're supposed to make ridiculous mistakes, but we're not like supposed to, be murderers or child molesters or cannibals, any of these disgusting things that these people are on this world that are supposedly ruling over us for now. And guys, this is not going to last too much longer. It's all coming to an end very, very quickly. And they don't even realize it. That's the sad part. Is it's really, really pathetic. They're literally throwing away any golden chance, golden opportunity to live a decent life, to be decent people, and to use their money, their power, their authority to do something that benefits everyone else other than themselves. And they really think that they're going to get away with this. Guys, they're not. Just we have to endure this period of time, and this civilization will not be like that ever again, because you literally have made every single mistake that you can possibly make. So I really hope that history does not repeat itself thousands of years from now, because what is it going to be worth? It's not going to be worth anything. But it is coming to an end soon, and they're going to regret it. This is going to be a very, very sick, negative chapter in their stories, essentially. And they'll probably come across my words, my personality, my thoughts about all of it, and they'll be like, he was right about it. I was right. But there's nothing that you can do for anybody else, guys. You have to focus on yourself. Some people think that leaving behind a legacy is like your child. Unfortunately, it's not. Some people may get offended by that, but that's you have to think about your child as an individual spiritual being. They are their own person. They have their own thoughts. You have to be, as adults, we have to be positive examples for the younger generation. That's multi-universal. That's multi-planetary, multi-creational. Everyone that is adults has to be positive examples for the younger generation. But that's it. You can't force them into your belief structures. You can't force them to do things against their will. Um, but you have to, see them as individuals, because that's exactly what they are. They're not uh, a carbon copy of you. Maybe on a genetic, physiological level, maybe they look just like you, but um, you have to give them the freedom to grow themselves, and you have to understand that they are writing their own story. They're writing their own legacy, and this lifetime is just another chapter in their book. So you have to always give people room, freedom, guys. You can't um, you know surround somebody, um, remove their space and their free will from them. We have to respect each other uh, space, and we have to give people time to come to their own conclusions. We have to do these things or whatever. It's just part of being a good person or whatever. But something that Earth humans just can't seem to figure out. People always want to, butt their nose into somebody else's business. Always. What I'm doing here on this platform is not. I'm not trying to tell people, what they should do, what they shouldn't do. I'm not fire and brimstone. I'm not a preacher or anything like that. I'm just giving my advice from my accumulated knowledge, and this the truth. But um, if people want to take it, they take it. If you don't want to take it and you don't want to accept it, that's fine. You're free to do that. I'm not going around from door to door and forcing people to come to the same conclusions I have. Eventually, you will come to these conclusions too, because I'm seeing things clearly, and eventually you will too. But you're free to make your own choices. But just remember, whatever choices you do make, um, After you've made them, it's too late to change it. So, what I suggest, highly suggest, stop and think before you make a decision you're going to regret. And it will lead to more spiritual power. When we refuse to make horrible mistakes and step across that line, we gain insurmountable amount of spiritual power when we learn from this. You also gain spiritual power from stepping over that line, making mistakes. But why would you want to do that? You have to think all the way into the future. You're gonna be reading your story. You're gonna be reflecting on it. That's how you'll be remembered. Your existence in the course matter existence. That's how you're gonna be remembered, and other people will, look at your story. Are you gonna be ashamed of what you've done, or are you gonna be proud? You're gonna be proud that you refuse to, relinquish your self control and your self thought. As that's what it all comes down to. It. This creation will leave a legacy. Also, all of us together, every single spiritual being that's in existence, the next creation that we create from the absolutums, um, we are going to leave behind our legacy in the creational records, the new creational records, and the new creation that comes from this one. So that's what everything is about, pretty much. It's that explains life in a very simplistic way. Um, what are we going to leave behind? The choice is yours. It's always been ours. It's always been human beings, no matter what classifications. It's our decision. It just seems like people keep on making the wrong decision. They just can't figure things out. Only after the utmost difficulties. But it's always been that easy. It's always been so simple, um, uncomplicated, unconvoluted. People are the ones that convolute and complicate things. So, guys, my advice would be to just simplify your life. Think before you do something. Don't just act. Don't just jump into it. And give people their space, especially your children. You have to give your children space enough to come to their own conclusions, but be a positive example for them, and show them that they care. Sometimes, if a child is like acting out a rebellion, maybe they're doing it for a reason because they think that you don't care, or you're too absorbed with work. You're not paying attention to them. You're not respecting them on an intellectual level. You don't understand them. So maybe, try to understand them. Try to connect with them on a emotional, empathetic level, and then things will change. Your whole relationship with them will potentially change. That's my advice. Even though I don't have any children, I do have, a nephew and three nieces. So I have a little bit of experience with that. And I also have a brother and two sisters. So, guys, that's what life is all about. It's about being as the best version that you possibly can be. We're not perfect. None of us are perfect. You're never going to be perfect, but when it's all said and done, in your next lifetime, how are you going to remember this lifetime? You're going to regret it, or you're going to be proud of yourself. That's what it all comes down to. These negative individuals, they are going to, man, they are going to be so disgusted with themselves. It's unbelievable. But that's their choice. I can't change that. You can't change that. None of us can. The only thing that we can't control is ourselves. That's it. So take control of your lives. Don't like push it on to some sort of creator deity. There is no such thing. If more people would just step up and they would realize that they're the ones in control of things, creation's not even in control of our lives. We are. The creational level spiritual beings, they've already lived the physical existence, and half physical, half spiritual. Their time's up. Now it's our time. So they want us to succeed, and we have everything we need. We've always had it. It's innate within us on a spiritual level. It's there. It's just people just drown out that voice, that conscience. That's what it's there for. It's always in the background telling us the difference between right and wrong. So listen to that voice. follow your heart, and accomplish as much as you possibly can, and that will be your legacy in this lifetime. But if you've made mistakes, just change, just be, become a decent person. It's never too late. It's never too late to, like, rebound from it. That's why we're alive in the first place, and that's why we live multiple lifetimes. Because you cannot get everything right in one lifetime, guys. It's just not possible. It just isn't possible. But the thing is, I just hate to see people waste uh, a perfect opportunity to like accomplish things and to learn as much as possible. You're never going to learn as much as possible as long as you're in some sort of belief structure. It's like it's like a brick wall around you, and you can't leave that brick wall. You have to be free to let your intellect grow and to let your creativity flow. All of it. That's you know that's what we need. We need that freedom. We have to be free as people. But you know, so these negative individuals out there, guys, they've already written this chapter. It's possible for some of them to make the decision before the this lifetime is over, and change their ways. But I don't see it happening. I really don't. Not the way that things are going. These people are negative to the last. They're infused with negative energy. They're hateful. They're racist. They're disgusting, depraved people, or whatever. Guys, just don't be like that, and you won't regret anything. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here. Tomorrow night, a very, very interesting episode. The true story of the man known as Jesus Christ. I'm gonna go into very, very detail about this. And Yeah, get ready to be shocked if you watch that one. So yeah, I'm gonna do it on Easter Sunday. I'm gonna blow that religious holiday out the freaking water. So yeah, that's coming. Hopefully, I'll get a lot of religious people on there, and I'll piss them off. It's what I do best. But in like real life, I piss a lot of people off because of things that I say. So what? Stop being so sensitive. I'm not sensitive whatsoever. But you know, it is what it is. Guys, I wish you a good night on this Saturday night. I really, really hope that some other people's theories are not true about, America firing a nuclear missile or any other kind of missile in Iran, killing endless people. I really hope that that's not true, or Israel doing it, but it kind of fits. It kind of scans what these people are doing. I don't know. I'm not on the inside. I can't possibly tell you what is going to happen or what isn't going to happen. We could just theorize about it. Um, I'm sure that firing all these generals, that has something to do with it. That's kind of sneaky. That would tell you that maybe they're against firing a nuclear missile and triggering World War III. I'm not sure. That's just the honest theory, but it's scary to think about, isn't it? It's scary to think about that you have a few negative, despotic dictators, evil individuals that couldn't care less about the endless death toll and the future of the civilization. But I do care. I really hope that it doesn't happen. But if it does, I hope that Ptah, Quetzal, the Federation of Light, they stop it from getting any too far. Because the thing is, they don't. You don't need to sit back and let three-quarters of the planet be destroyed for people to learn their lessons. Um, just don't let it get too far, and I think people will learn their lessons. And as long as the negative individuals are taken off of Earth, that's another thing. You're gonna have to take those people off of Earth. Come on, Ptah. Just terraform Mars, like I've been suggesting. Pluck them off of Earth and put them on Mars in temporary homes. Nobody's gonna care. The Play aren't going to care if you do it. And the Andromedans aren't going to care. Anybody else in the Federation of Light's not going to care. Just do what needs to get done and get rid of these people. And then all there'll be left is just the regular people and the positive people. I can guarantee that we'll make the most incredible advancements, and we'll take your advice. but you're also going to have to, support certain leaders of the civilization, whoever that may be. Um, if you want, I'll do it. I will. I will uh, be the positive voice for people. I'll be a counselor or whatever. I'll do it, and I promise you, I'll do the best job I can possibly do. But who knows? That's guys. It may happen. It may not. But that's just kind of wishful thinking from me. That you know the Federation of Light will do the right thing and just remove these individuals. But there are some of us here on Earth that do have the best intentions. That we are, you know, selfless, but not completely selfless. I'm not saying that I'm completely selfless, but you know, if I were faced with the opportunity of doing it, I would do the best job that I could possibly do at it. That's the truth. But we'll see what happens, everyone. Let's hope for positive future. All we can do right now is just control ourselves. Just have full control over who you are. Be the best version of yourself, and do not budge a single inch for these negative individuals, guys. Even if it ends up costing your life, I have that mentality. You have to have that mentality, guys, because even if you do, even if they are successful in taking your life, you got to think about your next lifetime. You're gonna be so proud of yourself that you didn't back down, guys. We're supposed to be strong minded like that. We're supposed to be. Um, that's the way that creation intended it. So be as strong as possible. Be a decent person. Do as much as you possibly can, and that's all we can do in this life. So, but yeah, that's it. Those of you that are gonna join me tomorrow night, I guess I'll see you then. Probably around 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. It's gonna be very, very educational, very, very provocative. But you know what? So what? It's the truth. Whether you accept it or not, I can't wait. If there's some like Christians and Catholics and anybody else on, come at me. Bring it on. I love it. I love the challenge or whatever. So you guys have a good night, weekend. I'll see you on the next episode, or I'll see you in the next lifetime.